And hi everybody, this is Rich Roste, and this is the Silver Fox blog, brought to you by Eastway Bowl, East 10th Street in Sioux Falls, where there is something for everyone. Well folks, the season is down to 2 weeks long as far as the Indoor Football League season, but it could only be one more game for the Sioux Falls Storm, because at this point in time with the playoffs, if you lose, the season's over. And right now, there's 4 teams left in the Indoor Football League. We have Arkansas, they're going to be playing Billings, and Wichita is going to be playing the Sioux Falls Storm, coming up on Saturday at 7:05. Now, the Storm and the Wild have had a very storied past as far as their ball games are concerned. Earlier this year, Wichita came into Sioux Falls and just really pretty much spanked the Storm. And then the Storm goes back down there and wins a game that comes down to a field goal in the last seconds and winds up being the Storm get a last-second touchdown after a fumble by Wichita. So these teams have played very close. One of the things that I had talked to Coach Riggs on in his show on Tuesday night was, how much different is Wichita as far as personnel is concerned compared to the last time the Storm played Wichita down there. And he said virtually the same team. Virtually the same team. Now, the thing about the Sioux Falls Storm is that when we played down in Wichita, we didn't have some of the guys that are back now that are healthy now. Offensive linemen, defensive backs, running backs, all that type of thing. So the Storm is going to put on a little bit different team on the field than what Wichita saw last week. Now, when you talk about differences in the team, think back to the Omaha game, and the Storm was just totally dominating against Omaha. Every phase of the game plan for the Sioux Falls Storm was successful. They really dominated, and they took care of business against Omaha. Well, last week when Chicago came into town, the slaughter, it looked like the Storm was just going to run away with that game. And then some things happened, turnovers, missed opportunities, long plays by Chicago, and they get back into the ballgame. So as far as, Wichita is going to see a different team, than they saw down in Wichita. The same thing is true depending on which team of the Sioux Falls Storm shows up on Saturday, because the contrast for the Omaha game to the Chicago game was drastic. As far as the execution, being able to put the game away, Storm was really dominating to start, and then Chicago just kept hanging around, wound up making it very close in the second half, pulling to within 36-30 before the Storm finally got winning by 14. So that's the question. One of the things we talked about with Coach Riggs, he was very disappointed in his team's performance against the Chicago Slaughter. Now, whether or not that is a good thing for the Sioux Falls Storm, that they were able to manage to get through that game and win the game, and that sets them up for this game with Wichita, maybe with a better mindset, or if it is going to be something that's going to be a continuation of a problem, we don't know. However, talking to Coach Riggs during his show again, he said this is not going to happen again. They had great practice, and this intensity has been cranked up. And the thing that the Sioux Falls Storm need to do is to play within themselves and just take care of business in running, blocking, tackling, throwing, and catching. Do the basics, and then be able to just continue to do them and not have the turnover, not have the blown coverage, not have the blown block or the things like that. To stay focused and to play a complete ball game, because that's what it's going to take against Wichita. They come in, they have a great quarterback, Dixie Wooten, fantastic receiver in Clinton Solomon, and an amazing running back, Darius Fudge. And the thing that the Sioux Falls Storm need to do is to shut down the running game or shut down the passing game. Either one, they need to make Wichita one-dimensional. If they start running and passing with ease, it's going to be a tough night for the Storm. So the Storm defense, needs to take care of the running game, shut down Darius Fudge, force Wichita to get into passing situations, and that allows the Storm defense to get more pressure on the quarterback because they're knowing that it's going to be more run, and that allows this defensive secondary to have greater coverage because the Storm defensive line is putting on pressure. So those are the things that are going to have to happen. But again, like I said, Wichita is a very good ball club, and when they come into town, it's going to be a really good football game. We hope to see a lot of fans out there. We had a great crowd last week, and I'm anticipating even a greater crowd this week because Wichita, they're forced to be contended with. This is the conference championship game of the United Conference, and the winner of this ball game will take on the winner of Arkansas and Billings for the IFL title. So a lot of things on the line, but again, this will probably be, or could very well be, the very last game of the season in Sioux Falls for the Storm, because unless Arkansas defeats Billings, the championship game would be up in Billings. If the Storm beats Wichita, Arkansas beats Billings, then the championship game could be at the Sioux Falls Arena, Tryon Gym Field. But those are things in the future. Right now, the concentration is on Wichita. They're coming up on Saturday. Get your tickets, get a lot of them, get loud. There's going to be more noisemakers. Bring your own, whatever, and come out and support the Sioux Falls Storm in this United Conference Championship game. This has been the Silver Fox Blog. I'm Rich Roste. Thanks for stopping by. I always appreciate you folks that stop by, and we'll talk to you again next week, again on the Silver Fox Blog, brought to you by the Eastway Bowl. See you later.